Okay, roll call.
Mr. Newton.
Here.
Mr. Bruno.
Here.
Mr. Facto.
Here.
Mr. Randall.
Here. Okay, all board members have been provided with a copy of the minutes of the last meeting. A motion will be entertained to approve and accept the minutes of, we got 3 of them tonight, provided there are no additions, deletions, or corrections. So we'll start with the public hearing on 11/10 of 22. If I get a motion.
Yes.
Mr. Facto.
Second.
Mr. Bruno. Any favor?
Mr. Newton.
Yes.
Mr. Bruno.
Yes.
Mr. Facto.
Yes.
Mr. Randall.
Yeah. All right, next one is going to be the special meeting for the budget, which was held on 11/10 of 22. If I get a motion for that one.
Motion.
Mr. Bruno.
Second.
Newman. Roll call.
Mr. Newton.
Yes.
Mr. Bruno.
Yes.
Mr. Facto.
Yes.
Mr. Randall.
Yes. And the last one would be for the special meeting, being that we moved the date of 11/19 of 2022, even though that was a regular meeting. So if I get a motion for that one.
Motion.
Mr. Newman.
Yes.
Red beat ya. Mr. Facto.
Mr. Newton.
Yes.
Mr. Bruno.
Yes.
Mr. Facto.
Yes.
Mr. Randall.
Yes. Alright, address these. I have nothing unless you're gonna say something later on. Good then. Alright, communications. Let's see, I'll try to go through these pretty quick. In between holidays here, we'll try to get through this thing in a timely fashion. And get ourselves back to our friends and relatives. Clinton County Soil and Water Waste Conservation District. Town of Schuyler Falls, Town of Schuyler Falls Highway Department. Thank you for participating in the local highway salt reduction environmental protection program mini grant program. In early of 22, we allocated funds for the implementation of salt reduction practices in New York State, in Clinton County, New York. Projects were to be implemented on property or equipment owned by local highway departments to provide the public and be a cost-effective practice that leads to reduction of road salt application on roads in Clinton County. The enclosed check is provided as a cost-share reimbursement to assist with the purchase and installation of measures that will help your town in the reduction in the application of road salt. Our project's goal was to protect and promote health, safety, and general welfare of the people of the state, while at the same time protecting the water quality of the county water body. Once again, thank you for your participation. Sincerely, Peter Hager in Clinton County Soil, Water and Waste Conservation District. So you ended up getting 1,500. We're going to have to match that funds. Okay. This one's from the Homes and Community Renewal, giving us a little nudge, so to speak. Basically, I won't read this whole thing, but this is the OCR. This is the CDBG grant we got for $1,250,000. They're giving me a prompt and us a prompt that it's been 12 months and it's time to start moving forward on that project. The deadline would be January of 2024, actually December 31st. Of 2023. They usually give an extension up to February 5th for 30 days of 2024. I did talk to Ben Madison, and he said if you got things going, they would not pull the grant money, but we need to get going. I think I can add into my time to save us some time. I got multiple charter communication ones. I'm not going to read them all, but basically they just had price increases to just about everything. And they range from $5 to $1.20 depending on what the spectrum service is. So I don't see any of them over $5, but everything just went up for the charter services. They also spent, let's see here, they sent this, they will be launching a Chime TV in high definition to expanded basic and SPP select on channel 144 or 482. I know everybody that gets Charter is going to get the notifications on this also. And this is Aztec American Network will discontinue programming on December 31st of 2022. Accordingly, Spectrum will cease to carry that channel. That's that on communications. Alright, everybody's had a chance to look at the monthly report, so I'll entertain a motion to file on.
Motion to file.
Mr. Newton,
Second.
Mr. Bruno,
Mr. Newton?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Facto?
Yes.
Mr. Randall?
yes. Alright, receipts. Town clerk, $470, Macy Lane Water, $757.44, Marshall Water, nothing, Woods Mills Water, $79.28, Justice Barber, $110, Justice Van Nortwick, $953, cash receipts, $45, CX LLC, Geico Insurance, that was for the fence damage out there. They finally got us a check, $3,240. Clinton County Treasurer, $1,569.34. Charter, $17,600.26. Earth Waste, $68.40. I think that is that for that. Can I get a motion to file or to accept the receipts?
Motion to accept.
Mr. Newman,
Second.
Mr. Facto, roll call.
Mr. Newton?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Facto?
Yes.
Mr. Randall?
Yes. Okay, the next one will be for the minutes of the planning board dated 11/1 of 22. So if I can get a motion to file.
Yes.
Mr. Facto,
Second.
Mr. Bruno, roll call.
Mr. Newton?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Facto?
Yes.
Mr. Randall?
Yes. Department reports, Councilman.
The only thing I've got is, I know that Red Cross is still wondering if we had a chance to go through and find out if there's any place for emergency housing.
That's for animals, right?
No, also for people.
Oh, for, I think you were looking to see if we can find some places for animal shelter.
Yeah, I'm looking into that.
I know the fire station's still on the list, and I'm gonna check with Morrisville School too, because at one time they were on the list for sheltering up there. But I know kind of some of that stuff, it got closed down during COVID because they didn't want anybody and everybody in there. But I think we're close enough out of that to avoid the school. So I'll put down Mville, and I will check with the fire station too if you wanna see if you got anything else on the animal stuff. Okay. Is that it for
Yes,
council?
just a couple of things, Kevin.
Yep.
Couple of inquiries regarding that burned out home on Shingle Street and Flat Rock Road. Is there any progress being done for any type of a scheduled cleanup on that?
No, probably what we'll end up doing, and I don't want to jump the gun on it, but we'll probably end up doing a resolution here to get it cleaned up and submit to the county, but I need our codes officer felt in the meantime to further that, so that's something we're working on.
Actually, a couple of weeks ago, I was up by there and the wind had blown a piece of the metal right into the highway up there. So I I mean, it's sort of a concern
No, I checked on it too.
to get it
Pulled,
picked up.
pulled 2 pieces of tin from across the road
Did
back
you?
on the
Did
property.
you? Okay.
So, yeah.
And
I mean,
my other issue is concerning the website that we've been talking about for about 8-10 months now. And I had prepared a resolution. I was a little late getting it in, but anyway, if you could possibly, I did email it in, but if you could take a look at it, I'll pass it around, Kevin.
yeah, I'm gonna
Possibly.
address that too on my thing.
Okay. But basically, oh,
You need one more?
There you go. And if anyone wants to look at it, there's some extra ones there. But basically with the website, it's a real issue here that we're not using emails which are uniform, which are town emails. Because a lot of people, when they put a FOIL in, it's kind of difficult to be using our personal emails. And that's something, as you know, you're taking a look at a few upgrades to it. But this resolution would just basically turn that so we do have emails. So our emails would be like townofschuylerfalls.com, and that we would have our names and it would be FOIL compliant. So if anyone wanted a record, they would be secured. That's my concern with whoever we decide for getting this website going. And that's why I submitted this for the town board to consider it. Hopefully, this thing will be resolved. It's been 8-10 months. The names of public elected officials aren't even on the website. Your phone number isn't on. Your email address is not on. I've had multiple calls, like with Mr. Snyder. You know, how do we reach him? You know, the people don't know how to reach him. And this website, this is really important to get this thing up and running. So, thank you. That's all I have to say on it.
Anyone else?
Thank you.
Okay. No problem. Mikey, you're up. Highway.
Yeah, well, as everybody knows there, we got dumped on pretty good with some snow, so we've been out plowing and sanding. Of course, I'm working on the truck steady and, working in the garage quite a bit there. Been doing some painting and trying to get her more airtight.
Did you ever get that other door,
No, that'll be in next week.
the bottom section?
Yeah. Yeah, they called, they should be in by the 5th of January.
How bad was it when you came in the next day after that storm, the water in there?
It was bad. It was
Yeah.
bad. Especially
So-
with all that rain and everything, it was.
Yeah, once the trucks flush off and melt off in that heat,
Yeah.
I know it creates it with those drains closed, so.
Yeah.
We should be able to put that out for bid again, hopefully by, thinking February or March.
I hope.
That way we can
I
get
hope.
the rest of that done. The other floor is pretty good though. Like you said,
Yeah.
it's working out.
Oh, yeah.
Real good now.
Oh, yeah.
With that fix that we put on the.
What a real nice difference.
Yeah, and I don't know if you need updated specs or updated pricing on your front end loader, but you might want to get that stuff together because now that we're at the beginning of the year
Yeah.
and we transferred that money, we'll try to get you set up there with a new front end loader with the
Yeah.
that quick connects in the front.
I've been thinking, I'm glad you brought that up too, but
Oh, you're welcome.
I've been thinking, man, we probably ought to keep that older one, that older loader too.
You want
'Cause
three of them?
you'll just never be able to replace a machine like that for what they want to give in for the trade-in value. I mean, it's got issues, but
I thought
We
he
can
gave you a
always-
pretty good trade-in value on one of those previous quotes, though, didn't he? I mean, you would know more than I probably what they're worth, but I thought he gave you a pretty good.
He did in a way, but we
So-
wouldn't be able to replace another one like that. And, you know, a lot of times we can use that third one, especially, you know, when
when
we're
you're
out.
getting stuck this time of year.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's a call that just let us know.
I'd like the board to.
I'm
take
pretty
that
sure we got
consideration.
enough even without the trade-in allowance to take care of what you need for your
Yeah.
front end loader,
That would be a lot more relaxing to have
and then
an
you
extra
can
spare
start
like
getting
that.
your attachments you need. I didn't want to cut you off. Did you have anything else? Are you good?
No, but
Tell
no,
the guys
we've
thanks.
just been going out and, you know, a lot of blowing over trees and, trees that are leaning over big time with, that 4 or 5 inches, 6, 8 inches of snow on them, and it's been amazing.
Did you have like the town of Plattsburgh help you out? Because I see you blew a wing or something on one of your trucks, huh? During the big storm?
Yeah, no, that was, the slusher probably.
Yeah, I saw a different truck go through. I wasn't sure if that was your guys' truck.
Oh,
or-
no, yeah, it should be ours, no, because we got a Peterbilt.
I know you guys are having a heck of a time moving all that snow. So.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
No,
No, that was good. God bless you.
well, thank you very much.
Good job, man.
Thank you very much. That was quite a, my God.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of trees on Mason Street. It was hard getting through just going out
Did you
on
have-
Mason Street.
It was all
Anything
over
else,
the
Mikey,
place.
for the board?
It was all over the place.
Yeah. Well, thanks. Tell the guys we appreciate everything that they're doing out there.
Sure
And
will.
I know we ran out of the fire department about 15.
Oh, yeah,
calls
you guys
in.
are phenomenal. You know, that fire
I
department.
said out in Texas
they're
they do
phenomenal.
cow tipping. Out here we do tree shaking because that's the only way you can get them to stand
Yeah.
back up is to snap the stuff off them, shake them off,
Yeah, they were an awful lot
rather
of
than cut
help.
them
too.
off. So we did leave some for you. I know there's one on the Kent Falls Road, a couple up on
Yeah.
Soper, and I know you're gonna have to go out. And
They're
pick 'em
on
up off the
shingle,
side
there's
of the
some on
road,
turning.
yeah.
They're-
Yeah, so he got some.
But they're
cleanup
stuck in
to
the
do.
snowbanks pretty bad right now.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. No, we got them off the road as best we can. So,
so- Yeah.
but
It's
you know,
very,
tell the
very
guys
helpful.
thanks a lot and appreciate it. And, let us know if you need anything else for help.
Mhm.
Alrighty. Anything for water?
No.
We got a lot of stuff, but we'll wait on that. Anything? No. Assessor, I just talked to him today. He's looking into one thing for me at the county level. I'll bring that back to the board after I hear what's going on. Board, I don't have anything. Dog, we get the permit. And our attorney unfortunately wasn't able to make it because of the reschedule. He had a prior meeting, or commitment, I should say. Historian, you got anything at all?
Nothing
Barb?
except we had a good event on Sunday, December 4th. So hopefully people were able to be there and
Yeah, thanks for all your help with that, because you went above and beyond as normal. For everybody that helped, and I got that in here, so if that's it for you, I will go through my mess of stuff. Alright, just to piggyback off of what Mr. Facto was saying with the website, I had that on my agenda too tonight. And it looks like everybody's kind of steering towards hiring North Shore Solutions. That was the majority kind of vote after everybody was looking at everything. There's a couple things I want to check into with them. Mr. Facto also brought to me some concerns about being ADA compliant. I did look into that. I checked with the town of Plattsburgh, and normally all the quote unquote website providers that are do it for a living, so to speak, they make sure the website's ADA compliant. So we'll make sure when we talk to North Shore that they can provide that service for us. But it looks like that's who we're probably going to go with. Naturally, until we get a resolution to hire and a resolution to, I guess, terminate service with who we have now, that isn't going to move forward. So I'm thinking January we'll
Didn't you say
do
last
that.
meeting, Kevin, he was gonna be here tonight, you thought?
I know he had asked, and I don't know what happened tonight. No idea. But I know he was talking about coming before we canceled the other one. I don't know if he had a previous commitment for tonight that he couldn't show up on, but I know he gets when the meetings are because I sent him to him to put on the website. So, with that being said, I'm hoping that next month we can make that decision, pass it by resolution, and that gives a couple months for them to get up and running. So hopefully it will be a seamless transfer.
Just to, Kevin, if I could, just to add one thing. North Shore has came up with a website just recently for a town. It's E as in Edward, Lockport.com. And that website right there, I went on it and it's done very well.
Yeah, they do several. I think
As
they're
well?
up to 6 right now that
Really?
they're doing. And they're
Okay.
a pretty good sized company. They're come highly recommended by our new cybersecurity firm. So, like I said, I want to just make sure that the contracts that I gave to everybody are still the same. It's been about 3 months. And then get a resolution ready for next month if everybody's on board with that. I'm not making that decision without everybody. So, if they want to move forward with it and do that, that would be what I would suggest. We take care of that in January, so that by February we're ready to go. Selective Insurance, they have completed their annual review. They comes up every 3 years. Our local agent has put the coverage out to bid. This is completed every 3 years to ensure that our rates are competitive in the industry. As it turns out, Selective Insurance was still the most competitive bid and will remain our carrier. They do it for us, which is kind of nice because they know insurance better than we do to make sure we're comparing apples to apples. And they came in at the lowest bid, so it looks like we're going to stay with Selective. We've approved the town budget, as everybody knows, for the year 2023. Even with the added money placed into the 2023 budget for the improvement projects to the general fund and the highway budgets, we still remain under the 2% tax cap. And this year we remained under it by $8,064, if anybody's interested. The general remained at 30 cents per thousand, and the highway had a modest increase. It went from 281 to 291 per thousand. So even though we passed the local law to exceed the tax cap if needed, we didn't have to do that. We stayed under it. Works and Ave update. I have spoken with Mr. Davies at Clinton County Health Department. He has reported that at least one home in that area will most likely receive a, and it will now, after talking to him after I wrote this, it will receive a point of entry system to treat their water. As the department will continue testing in that area if the residents will allow for that to happen, to see if more is needed. The system is intended for a short-term solution to the problem. I have also been looking into applying for the 2023 Emerging Contaminants Grant. This program could provide 100% funding grant for the project, so I think that we should continue to move forward on a parallel path with that, keeping everything going the way it is. But I really do think that we, after I found out that that's 100%, at least this year it was, I'm not sure what it will be. It was the first year of that Emerging Contaminants Grant, and every year after that they'll put new stuff in the game, so it'll be harder, and they might even cut back from 100% funding. So that's something I want to look into to see if we can. I know we can apply for the PFOA and PFOS issues that were up there, so I don't know if we'll get it, but it might very well be worth putting in for. It would free up that ARPA money to be used somewhere else. Second annual Schuyler Falls Townwide Holiday Festival and Lighted Fire Truck Parade was a huge success with estimates of between 75 and 200 in attendance throughout the day. I would personally like to thank all who worked so hard to pull it off. I would especially like to acknowledge and thank all the volunteers, many of whom not only donated their time, but brought decorations, crafts for the kids to make, and holiday treats to eat. A big thank you to our emergency services and also the Side by Side Club for their time and dedication to provide all the lighted apparatus for the parade. all of the commitment to your community has not gone unnoticed. I would look forward to the 3rd annual next year. I think everybody had a good time and they want to continue. I know Howard was down there most of the day. Thanks again for your help. But like I said, Barb could tell you more of all the names of the volunteers that we had this year and all the donations that everybody gave and not only of their time but actually donated stuff.
It's kind of recapping.
Stewart's and all kinds of places.
Recapping
So.
my historian report, but yeah, Stewart's and bankers gave us stuff that new residents of the town brought cookies, and Heather helped a lot with the crafts on NATO.
So so that we don't forget to name anybody, we do have an active list of everybody that participated, and we will be sending out thank you letters, and hopefully we get the continued cooperation from everybody. But it really was a blowout compared to last year. It was twice as many, over twice as many actually. So we'll try to keep that going. It also come to my attention that the Morsel Water Project congressional funding may have already been approved. I submitted this last year. It appears we have made it through all the cuts and are on the final federal budget for the president to sign. I know they just the House just approved the 1.7 trillion, so I don't think right now he's going to not sign it because of the switch of power. But again, I will keep you all advised when it is signed. This alone would add $2,560,000 of, you might as well call it grant money, but it's not. It's congressional funds to the Morsel Water Project. So I'm looking forward to the commitment letter whenever we get it. So that was a big boost to that project, that's for sure. That was one of the funding. I was hoping we got the WIA, we did not, but this is the one I didn't know if we would get, and it looks like we are going to get it. So until I get it in writing, I don't want to, go on the record and say it's ours and it's in hand, but that's what they're telling me. It also looks like the Sand Road Water District will be moving forward. I was notified that grant money has been approved for this budget. As I continue to work out the details with our partners, I will keep you informed of its progress. Again, this is that emerging contaminants grant, and from what I understand, they did get it. So the Sand Road Water Project looks like it's going to be going through. So there's a whole bunch of moving parts with that. That affects a couple other things. So as I get more information, as we get things solidified, as we get the MOU signed by all parties, I'll start giving you a lot more information on it. But it looks like the stars are in alignment for a change, and we're moving forward in a good direction. So I don't want to jinx it.
What about all these little side roads that are off the Sand Road? I mean, the Vassar Road, does that have water to them right now?
The Vassar Road goes down 3 hydrants. They got pretty good water, actually.
Because that place has got to be contaminated probably more than anywhere. That's closest to the landfill.
Yeah, and when they did it, they went through. Not everybody answered the door knockers. They even sent reps out from, the health department sent reps out to try to hit more people and try to get more people advised of what the contaminants were in that area so that they can get their wells tested if they're not on public water. Vassar Road, the Sand Road side of Vassar goes up 3 hydrants. And so, that takes care of pretty much most of the houses on that this end before you get that dead spot until you get to.
Is the last hydrant below the old railroad bed, or is it? It's on the other side that
It's on the landfill side, right?
Yeah,
It's on landfill.
yeah, that was part of, Newell Court. When the county put in the water for Newell Court, they came down that far, and they did do that section up through. I discussed, with the engineers, trying to get a line down the Vassar Road to backfill to our tank to loop that system, fill that tank the rest of the way. The way it is right now, Galsville Springs can't take any more gallons per day. So we're gonna, the good thing about the Sand Road project is that is another way the Morrisville water side does of, I should say off of Blueberry Hill up there, off of the town of Plattsburgh. We get fed by that side. They got all kinds of water. So with the Sand Road project, not to get into it too deep, I'm kind of merging a few things up there to see if we can get some of that stuff added in. And at the very least, is something to look at for the town in cooperation with Mike Cashmill or the town of Plattsburgh. It would definitely help both townships to get a tower up there and be able to backfeed, and it will leave some of their pressure from Galsville Springs. We could even backfeed Woods Mills District off of there and kind of alleviate some of the pressure off of Galsville Springs. But there's a lot moving there, and there's all kinds of parts on that one.
What about Fatima Street? Does that have water yet, or is it, that's all water?
That did, I'm pretty sure that.
I know, I
was
thought
in
they
there.
did part of it, but I didn't know they did it all.
Yeah, that goes, because there isn't much left up there though.
Yeah.
Most of that, the Casella's and Baudel. But that did have public water next to no port. So I think it does. I don't want to misspeak, but I think it does.
Fatima has water.
Yeah, I thought so.
Does have water, okay, thank you.
So I mean, if we are fortunate enough to get these loans and grants and everything together, are we looking at improving our own water supply instead of being connected and purchasing from the town of Plattsburgh? Are we ever taking a look at that to see if we could open that supply back up again and use it?
Well, I've said
you
multiple times, Mr. Facto, that I don't think we ever should have gave away our water supply. That's kind of moving backwards as a town, but you know, that happened way before this board was here.
Sure.
The town of Plattsburgh has a contract with us annually that they foresee for the near distant future. As far as setting up our own water, to the best of my knowledge, we had our biggest well would get silt in it, so there's nothing but fine sand, and they'd have to suck the sand out of it, or instead of having a 150-foot well, you were down to 75 and then 50 and so on as the silt went in there. So there's a couple different ways that they could stop that. Actually, what they do is use a hydrofractor and get it all out at once and keep pumping it until it's gone. But the cost of that would be another grant. You would not be able to. You would not be able to start that thing up again now because you don't have anything up there anymore. I mean, the chlorination building's still there, but you don't have any of the chloration machinery, or you don't have somebody to maintain it. We'd have to hire somebody and start a salary again. I even spoke to a gentleman that worked in the water for 40-something years. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. He'd be willing to do that, but that would be something to look at, I think, after we get this done. I mean, I've been working on this for 3 years, and we're finally to the point where the patchwork quilt is finally getting all the funding together that will make it feasible. So it's something very, very much interesting to me to look at now. I agree that our own water would be.
And when they go through and do all that, Kev, are they responsible for anything to do with the road, the sidewalks? Does the contractor have to repair all that, or do we have to look into this?
If you're talking about the Morrisville Water Project,
No,
or the
we're
Sand
talking about
Road,
the Sand Road, when they go right down.
Okay.
You got a lot of driveways, a lot of sidewalk.
Yeah. So that's part of the MOU. So we don't have a signed MOU. It's been back and forth 4 times. I don't want to get into the particulars of it until we do have it all signed, but we're close, real close. And that was one of the last things that I sent back to them, was to look at reclamation to make sure that everything's put back the way it is. And that includes sidewalks and roads and all that stuff. Be hydrants every 600 feet, like every new water system recommends by state and feds. So it'll definitely transform that whole area. Again, there's a lot of moving parts to that, because first of all, in order to create a district, we'd have to create a district, and that means that the people up there would have to let us create that district. So there'd be public hearings, and there's a lot to it. Like I said, once I get the MOU signed out, I'm going to give you a bunch of information. I just don't want to, get too much out there until I get the signatures. And
when they do it, are they doing that trailer
4.
part by Vic McCausland's?
Yes.
They will do that
That will
too.
be part of it.
I didn't know if that was.
No, that will absolutely be part of it. Yeah. Yeah, that helped, that probably helped one of the most, was the most help for the grant, was that area.
And I guess
So,
the
yeah.
last thing is, what about people down over the hill on the Kent Falls Road? If they're contaminating wells on the flat ground, I'm sure this stuff went down the hill and it's got contamination in Kent Falls Road.
Right. And then, to my knowledge, there's one point of entry system. It's charcoal-based filtration system. They usually use them short term so that they're not delivering bottles of water to them every day, and they put that in. But they're labor intensive. They're all different depending on the contaminant levels and the water and the minerals. The charcoal filters need to be changed at different times, so it's not like we can say, okay, we got 20 people on these at this day, we got to change them all, because it goes by the particulate mass in that filter to see. So some may be earlier and need to be changed more often than others. So like I said, they're not looking at that as an end game. When we looked at trying to get water to the one that we know about on the bottom of Kent Falls Road, that added, and this was about a year and some change ago, about $900,000 to $1 million, and that was looking to go off a Newell Court rather than going all the way up Kent Falls Road, because this end is good. To put the water line down the hill, so to speak, like you're saying, off of Newell Court. But there's only one at this time, so, and they had, as far as I know, the counties, if they haven't already, put in a point of entry system there. So I think that's the short term of that one until we can get through this. That's definitely something that will be discussed too as part of the Sand Road project. And they end up being
Don't they say
a
this
different one.
contamination follows the river?
It's
Kind of
water. It's
word
in the
of
water.
mouth, yeah.
And the weird thing about it is, like, you can have a house with a well here, and 700 feet over here, you got contaminants, but the one that's only 75 feet away in the middle doesn't. It all depends on what vein of water they hit when they drilled their well. And that's why we're looking at it, to see, if we can. Matter of fact, he's looking at putting out another survey round and have them go out. But people have to allow you to go in, drain the tap water, then bring it down through the iodine to get it tested. But some of them don't want it. Some of them are like, no, I'm good.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. No, we're still looking at the Kent Falls Road, but that one's nowhere near as progressed as the Sand Road. But again, it was one down there which they put a point entry system on. They just don't want to have 25 or 50 of them on point entry systems, because they're regulated also by Clinton County Health Department. So, that answers all of your questions. But that's what I had there. If there's nothing forward, we'll keep going. Well, we took care of new business and old business, so that brings us to resolutions. resolutions tonight are 2299 through 22115.
16.
16. Correction. 116. Alright, the first one, regular meeting, resolution 22-99. Motion be resolved that the town board reappoints Timmy Aubin to the zoning board of appeals, appointment effective immediately and to expire on December 31st of 2027. I'll get the motion in a second, and then I got discussion on that. Motion by Mr. Facto, or excuse me, by Mr. Newman, I apologize,
Second.
by Mr. Facto. Alright, so Mr. Aubin is required to complete training as required by state statute to obtain 4 hours of training per year, or an accumulation of 25 hours per term, because it boils down to be 4 hours per year, and they have a 5-year term. It can be cumulative. So if he takes 20 hours the first year, he don't have to do anything until his 5th year, and then he'd have to do another 4 hours. Okay. So basically, he took over an unexpired term. He's been in now just a hair over a year. It looks like the first one he's able to go to as far as training will be April 16th through Tuesday, April 18th, and that's in Saratoga. I'm also going to recommend that anybody else that is on the ZBA board or the planning board and needs their annual training go to that. It's a lot less expensive than going to New York City, but the good thing is it's honed in for planning and zoning. So that's exactly what their boards are, and that's exactly where I think they should start. So he's willing to do that. Upon having said that, we are going to waive the requirement of the 4 years for last year if this resolution goes forward. And we are allowed to do that.
Mr. Newton?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Facto?
Yes.
Mr. Randall?
Yes. Resolution 22-100. Motion be resolved that the town board reappoints Vic McCaslin to the planning board, appointment effective immediately and to expire on December 31st of 2027. Again, I'll give some discussion on that, and if I can get a motion.
Motion.
By Mr. Bruno,
Second.
Mr. Newton. And as I just said, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I'm going to recommend that Mr. McCaslin also do that. So go to that same training in April. That'll give him his 4 hours for this year. Mr. McCaslin has been to the New York City training 3 times, so he had plenty of hours of training to make his 25 hours. So with that having said, if there's no other discussion, roll call.
Mr. Newton?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Facto?
Yes.
Mr. Randall?
Yes. Alright, 22-101. Motion be resolved that the town of Schuyler Falls Town Board acknowledges the resignation of William LeCount, Code Officer, effective date of December 1st, 2022.
Move.
By Mr. Facto. Second.
Second.
Mr. Newman. If there's no discussion, roll call.
Mr. Newton?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Facto?
Yes.
Mr. Randall?
Yes. Okay, 22-002.
102.
Motion, whereas the town board of the town of Scholar Falls has recognized the health and safety issues of the residents of Rixon Avenue, and whereas the town board of the town of Scholar Falls entered into a contract with LaBerge Group Engineering for the development and installation of water improvements to serve the residents of Rixon Avenue, and whereas said agreement outlined their participation preparation of plans, thank you, and engineering studies to provide for the installation of municipal water lines to serve the residents and a single business which are located on Rixon Avenue, whereas the town board of the town of Scholar Falls held a regular meeting on May 24th of 2022 and approved said agreement in the amount not to exceed $14,500 with LaBerge Group Engineering by adoption of Resolution 2250, and whereas it was agreed that the funds for the Rixon Avenue Water Project will be drawn from the American Rescue Plan Act award received from the town of Scholar Falls. Now, therefore, it is resolved that the town board of the town of Scholar Falls will continue with said agreement to provide municipal water to the residents of Rixon Ave only, in accordance with resolution number 22-50. So that would need a motion to carry further.
So we're not doing a loop, we're just gonna do straight Rixon Avenue only?
That is what this resolution was provided by Mr. Facto, and only wanted to go forward with a very narrow scope of Rixon Ave. I think that with the grants that now just became available, and not only talking about the work that could be performed as in-service work by 3 other family owners up there, I really think it shouldn't go through, but it's only my own opinion. I think that we got a lot to discuss on Rixon Avenue to get this thing through, and I don't think that we should narrow the scope down. That's my own opinion.
Discussion?
Do you do a motion first and then you can discuss it?
Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
if we get a motion.
I certainly want to discuss it, but if I don't have a second, I can't discuss
Did you
it.
motion?
Yes, I submitted it, yes,
Well, I
Donna.
know, but I'm still.
Okay, sure. If I get a second, I can at least discuss it, why I did this.
If there's no second, then we're not gonna proceed with it. I'm definitely not seconding it, I'll tell you that.
Well, I certainly want to comment on it. I certainly
There'll
want
be
to comment
discussion.
on it.
Unless we.
And my
we get it.
comment is this. We have a contract with LaBerge Group for $14,500 for Rixon Avenue only. Now, what ended up happening, and I'm on the water
I'm gonna
committee.
stop you right there because
Well,
there
I've
is
got to
no.
continue.
No, you don't.
Well, of course I do.
Basically,
Of course I do.
there is no discussion on a motion that didn't get a second. And I don't make the rules, I just follow them. But there is no motion to move this thing forward. We needed to. And it's not nothing that we definitely haven't heard.
We've got ARPA money being spent illegally. We sure do have to talk about it.
I would watch what I declared up
Inappropriately,
here.
I'll replace the word.
I would watch what I declared on the record up here.
I at least would like to address the board on this.
Work session.
I agree.
It's okay, I'll bring it up again.